Was that too loud?
Nope. What's going on, everybody? This is the CVMA Utah 49-1 podcast. I'm going to turn it over to the men you see on camera. Go ahead there, Double Dutch.
Appreciate everybody being tonight. We've obviously got DJ Brett behind the mic running us for our podcast.
Yep.
Ooh, ooh. And we have a special guest this evening, first time on camera. Our XO for Chapter 491, Jay Bird. Appreciate you being here tonight.
Thank you.
He's a little camera shy, so we're going to break him out of his shell here for a little while. But tonight we are actually at the CO's house, inside his beautiful garage. If you haven't noticed, he's behind us here. We've got a new member Sam, and we're just going to kick this podcast off now. So, yeah, it's good to be back. We took a week off, back to the grind of doing things on the podcast, and we thought we'd bring in the XO for this evening. He's going to kind of talk to us a little bit about some stuff, and then later on in the podcast, we're going to bring it over and have one of our new members, Sam, that's going to join us. And I mean, he's in the Air Force, so let's get some razzing going on. But first off, we'd like to give Jay a chance to kind of introduce himself and tell him what he does for the chapter, and kind of go from there.
Hi, I'm Jay Bird Wetstein. I'm the XO for the chapter, and my job is just to make sure the commander keeps his stuff in line and follows all the rules. So,
and it's a tough job.
That's for sure.
Jay's the level-headed one of the group.
Thanks.
Yeah, he's pretty humble, and he definitely keeps everybody in line. So, how long you been the XO?
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just barely got voted in last year again.
Yes.
Second term. I know. So, you like being the XO?
It's not a bad gig.
It's not a bad gig when you have to round in the cats.
I don't mind it. I like it.
Yeah. I know sometimes it can be a challenging job, but there's a lot of difficulty, especially when you're running the chapter with the CO, the secretary, the sergeant of arms, PRO, the treasurer, being that level head and being humble enough to say, hey, you guys need to tap the brakes a little bit. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you work? Family?
I work for the Department of the Army at the Twill Army Depot. I retired from the National Guard, Army National Guard, as an Apache mechanic in 2009. I spent 24 years in the Army, 3 years active duty. Had a great time. My 3 years active duty, I spent a year in Alaska. I worked on Hueys.
Hueys?
Yeah, Vietnam era type stuff, yeah. Like I said, spent a year in Alaska. Then I went to Fort Campbell and really got, from Alaska to Fort Campbell was a
really
huge
cold,
change.
And really humid, and snakes.
Well, you go from just like a test facility to the 101st Airborne. They are freaking serious.
Yeah.
I spent 6 months in El Salvador. That was huge.
Wow. You know Spanish?
No. And I really,
Cerveza.
a year.
You know that.
Yeah, you know that. That was a huge indoctrination.
And this was when you were learning how to be an Apache mechanic?
No, I was just active duty, straight Huey mechanic, crew chief. That was my indoctrination to the death squads in El Salvador, bombings, Nicaraguan guerrillas, all kinds of stuff.
So Jay's he's a badass, man. If you guys didn't know that about him.
Working with the SF and the State Department and stuff down there, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Then when I came home in '88, I just decided the Army wasn't for me.
Yeah.
At least active duty.
Yeah.
So I finished my enlistment and came home.
Back to Utah?
Yes, and my uncle worked for the Guard. He was a pilot for the Guard and says, hey, we got some positions at the Guard as aircraft mechanics. So I went to work that summer, and I'm like, hey, this is pretty damn good. And it was good money. You went to work
for the Guard in the summer as a tech?
Yes.
Ah, gotcha.
And I spent 21 years there. And I'm
in West Jordan.
In West Jordan.
Wow.
thinking I got out of the Army because I didn't like it. Come home and I put a uniform back on and spend 21 more years doing it.
Yeah, but you're not getting up at 5 o'clock doing PT and everything else.
No, I wasn't, but you still had to go to drill.
Tracking.
Thank God, though. Thank God.
I mean, you work there all week, then you put in the weekend, and I know there's a lot of guys that AGRs. It just got to me. Then our deployment in 2003, my daughter was 5 years old, and 16 months being gone, it really got to me.
Yeah.
And I came home and I spent a couple more years, and I just can't do this anymore. I really, really love working on aircraft. I love the people. I loved all that.
You loved your job, but you just didn't like the.
I had enough.
The ebb and flow of
had enough of the dang uniform.
And I wished we could have stayed working on aircraft, but
and then you
I was
retired?
very fortunate enough to leave the technician program, civil service, and got another civil service job. And
but you don't have to wear a uniform,
right? And then I did retire from the Guard that fall in 2009.
Nice.
Still worked like 11 years for the Department of Defense, and then I just started a year ago working for Department of the Army. So
nice.
Really good, and back working almost directly for uniformed soldiers and supplying the soldier with shadows.
Switched over from a mechanic to logistics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
sort of.
These poor guys that use shadows know nothing about aviation, and aviation's pretty serious.
So the shadows that he's talking about, these are our drones, right?
Remote controlled
drones. Now, and then you also work with another CVA member.
Yes.
Right.
Our PRO.
Nice, Apache Doc.
Yes.
I wonder if he was a mechanic on Apaches too.
Yes, he was.
Shout out to Rod if you're watching, buddy.
He's watching.
He's watching.
He's on. Yeah, he said, "Hey."
Yeah. So Jay, what kind of bike do you ride?
A Road Glide Limited.
Harley in the face. He's not wearing a Dixon tonight, but he's usually rocking a Dixon.
It's too warm. I don't have the short sleeve yet.
I'm rocking an OG tonight. No, so you ride a Road Glide. It's your third bike?
No, this is my fifth bike in 10 or 12 years.
Well, I met Jay. He was rocking
an electric glide.
Electric glide, but it was pimped out, man. I mean, it had a huge front tire. You could see him coming a mile away.
And hear me a mile away.
And hear him a mile away. Big old dent on the side. So you upgraded?
I did.
Nice. You liking the way your bike's going now?
Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Got the tour pack, everything else on it. Yeah. When he was pulling up, Sam was in the background. He's like, "Oh, there's Jay." Like he's got like an astronaut helmet on. I'm like, dude, that's a Samson. So on the topic of bikes, right? Most of the guys in the chapter ride Harleys. You know, there's a few. There's a few that are on the symmetrics.
Even though it's not a requirement.
Poppy. And even Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse rocks a metric. And we got a couple Indians.
Someday maybe Mighty
couple
Mouse.
snowmobiles, right? Yeah. 6. Paco, you guys are rocking snowmobiles. It's all right. We might have another one here in a little bit. Gash was talking about getting into an Indian.
Yeah, I'm going to go join the tribe. I'm going to go test drive them tomorrow, man.
I don't know
It's
about
always
that.
been not like a dream of mine, but I've always really wanted an Indian.
It's been a dream to ride a snowmobile?
Yeah, that too.
Oh.
But yeah,
you can go up to Park City.
I may be joining the tribe, boys. Maybe joining the tribe. I hear they ride a lot smoother.
Nice. Well, I know
there's pros and cons of both.
Jay's got a really nice garage. He takes care of his bike. You walk in there. I mean, he's got a spot just for his bike.
That's
in front
awesome.
Of his Jeep. All of his tools and everything. So tonight we're going to kind of touch on a little bit of bike maintenance, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us some of the stuff that you've done to your bike to kind of keep it upkeep? Obviously, it's a brand new bike. You know, you bought it pretty much brand new, right?
I did. Brand new right off the block with like
Cha-ching!
2 miles on it.
Moneybags McGee over here.
There you go.
Was it hard selling your old bike?
No, not when you trade it in.
And then you see it on a ride a couple of months later.
Yep.
Gotcha. So walk us through some of the stuff that you've done to your bike, kind of maintenance and just upgrades and stuff.
I've piped it, put another breather on it. I put bigger bars on it, factory 47s, great bars, absolutely awesome bars.
Yeah.
The newer bikes are so much easier to work on, a lot less wires, pulled all my own wires.
Yeah.
I've always done my own maintenance. I did buy a service package on this bike just because of the warranty. Now,
yeah.
When the warranty's up, that'll be up too. So
yeah, it happens.
Right.
What kind of manual maintenance, or like kind of throughout the year? Obviously, here in Utah, we've got a riding season and stuff. Like, what do you go through your bike before you get off?
That's an interesting question, because I just had the conversation with a guy that works with us today. I'm a huge believer in, I mean, not only wash them, I'm not all about polish and shine as much as I am.
Like this bike behind us?
Yeah. Wonder if it ever gets ridden.
Yeah, I don't know if it does.
I don't think it does either, man. His son's on, and I don't think he said it doesn't get ridden either.
I take it to the car wash. I spray it down.
You go to the car wash?
Oh, yeah. That's how I get the bugs off. And then I take it home, and I put it on the stand, and I wipe it down.
Mm-hmm.
But part of wiping it down is inspecting the whole bike.
Yeah.
I've had, over the last 15 years of riding again, I've had several nails and tires and stuff like that. I mean, I've seen people not find that out till they go get on their bike to leave in the morning, or, go on a nice ride with the whole group.
Yeah.
And they find a flat tire. I want to beat that.
Yeah.
Looking at worn tires, looking at worn brake pads, I don't want to find out when
But you got a brand new bike.
It still wears out.
You got a brand new bike, but you've got maintenance and stuff you're doing on it. And obviously you take pride in your bike, right? And I maybe gave him shit about washing it at the car wash. I'm just joking around, but I mean, you're constantly upkeep. How often do you change your fluids?
Well, it's every 5,000 miles.
Gotcha.
Now, so
nice. And then a little bit kind of older bikes and stuff like that, it might vary, right? And a lot of guys like to do that stuff on their own,
Right. Synthetics go a little bit farther if you're using the old.
With a newer bike, though, you have to take it to Harley, right?
No, you don't have to. But one of the big things, if you want to stay within the warranty and not void your warranty, you go to them, because they.
Gotcha.
You hear the stories about Harley. If you don't do it exactly the way they say, they'll just void your warranty. So it's easier just to go to them. And it costs you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they always get you, man.
You bet.
I think car dealers, it doesn't matter who it is. If you don't sit in the seat right, we're going to void your warranty.
Yeah,
Pain in the butt.
All right, so besides like maintenance, regular maintenance on your bike, like what are some things that you look at throughout the riding season to kind of upkeep your bike? Obviously keeping it clean, right? Because when you're cleaning it, you're going to find something, right? Something might come loose, things like that. But what's some other stuff that you look at during the riding season? You've obviously been with the chapter for a while, and you've got a brand new bike. You had an older bike. I wouldn't even say older. It was a really nice bike. But what's some things during the riding season that you look at?
Every one of those nuts and bolts, wipe them down, give them a tug, twist them, wipe them off. Like I said, you're just not polishing it. You're really, and those were things we learned working on aircraft.
Yeah.
Being in the Army, you over-maintain everything.
Yeah, preventive maintenance.
But you kind of learn. And Rod and I talk about this a lot. Man flight, being in helicopters, you fly in them, you do all that.
And I've seen them take helicopters apart, literally completely apart, and they're together the next day ready to fly.
Isn't that crazy?
Right. But
wait,
on the other hand, poor maintenance costs people's lives.
Yeah.
So it can just as easily cost you your life on your motorcycle too. The guy I was talking about cleaning bikes, he was telling me a story about a guy that's in their chapter that put new brake pads on the front of his bike, and he rode from Tooele to Salt Lake, and he grabbed the front brake, and
it didn't work.
It went all the way down. He looked down, somehow he put the brake pads in wrong, and he had his daughter with him on the bike.
Oh, I'm like, even worse. Did he change the front and the back, or just the front?
Well, he said he changed the front and then found out after the fact that his back pads were bad too. So
Rod wants to know how your arm is feeling.
How's your arm? Oh,
he's in the chat right now.
He got
ask
poked
Jay
today.
How his arm
I got
is
my second COVID shot, and my arm doesn't hurt.
He hasn't turned
but
into
I'll
a
tell
zombie
you
yet.
tomorrow. I asked my wife if my eyes were turning white already.
He's not
The zombie.
Yeah, I got
You got that shot.
I got my shot yesterday.
I got it. There's
So
a
I'm
big
doing pretty good, too.
samurai sword right up here on
My
the wall.
first one, I got it on Thursday. Friday, I couldn't even work. I couldn't move my arm.
Wow, which one did you get?
The Moderna.
Yeah, I did too. I could still move my arm. It was pretty sore for 2 days, but that was it.
And that's, I mean, by Friday night, 24 hours later, I felt like shit.
I know, man.
And,
it sucks.
We're not
Took
against
some Tylenol.
vaccinations.
Took some Tylenol and everything and rubbed it out real good.
You rubbed one out.
Yes.
Did the hot,
He
did the
said
hot
it.
pad.
Rub one out. Hey,
Ladies and
CEO's
gentlemen.
wife is in here. We can't be talking
Hey,
about
ladies
it.
and gentlemen, it's not that kind of rub out, all right? It's a massage the shoulder. That's it.
But sad to believe. And then you see stories. I mean, there's lots of people.
Getting
You
hospitalized.
said you didn't have one problem.
No.
I don't care either way. I just did it because I just see something coming.
Herd immunity, yeah. Well,
if
sooner or
they-
later it's going to be mandatory
Right.
for me,
Yeah.
obviously. And I don't know how DOD goes or anything like
Well,
that.
they're pushing as hard as they can. They just know they can't make it.
We're just trying to
mandatory
get,
right
like
now.
where I
Right.
work, we're trying to get people vaccinated so we don't have to wear those freaking face diapers.
Damn right.
It's like once we hit 70%, we can take our face diapers off at work. So, nah. But, I mean, appreciate Jay talking about bike maintenance. Obviously, he's got a newer bike, but he still cares about it, still takes care of it. Something to push out, not just to the chapter, but everybody else is, especially when you put the patch on your back, right? Like, we care for one another, and I wouldn't want to show up to a ride knowing that my bike wasn't 100%. Or not doing the maintenance on it, and we have to stop somewhere because of my bike, That's a big thing that it's happened quite a bit.
Like pushing the guys
Freeway.
miles down the freeway.
It was like a mile and a half,
Oh,
but
It felt like
full
2
leathers,
miles.
everybody else is at the rest stop.
We were
he-
cheering you on though.
Oh, dude, it was like a smoke session for me. And I literally would push him like 100 yards and then run back and get my bike and drive it another, 200 yards, park it on the side of the freeway in the middle. When was that? August? September? I don't know. It was hot
September.
as balls.
It was September.
Pushed
it
him
was hot
for a
during the
mile
day.
and a half to get him to his bike. We won't say any names, but yeah, bike maintenance.
We left in the rain,
we did.
got sopping wet, and by the time we got down there, we were sweating. So
Yeah. So it's key, especially for those that don't ride a lot or that really don't take pride in their bike. I know within the chapter we've got a lot of members that take pride in their bike, and they keep it clean. Obviously, you could probably eat off of this bike that's behind me. And, Jay was poking fun of him earlier, asking if he does ride and whatnot. But, yeah, so it's a big issue, especially that within the chapter. And that's kind of what we wanted to chat a little bit about tonight was, bike maintenance. And obviously bringing up that Jay's got a brand new bike. But he still takes pride in it, still keeps it upkeep. Obviously, he's riding front left. He's keeping the chapter, CO. And a lot of times the sergeant of arms kind of reining that in. But Jay, kind of something I want to wrap up with you because we've got another guest here. Is real quick, just kind of tell me why you joined CVMA and what it's done for you in your life.
I've had a motorcycle for a while, but
5 of them. All Harleys?
No, Hondas.
Metrics? You don't take me as a
I've
metric
had-
kind of guy.
I had 3 Hondas and a Kawasaki. I made a bar hopper for
Yeah, I
a
remember
while.
that.
And
You showed me
then,
pictures.
Finally stepped up, decided that it was
It was time to be a big boy and get a big boy bike.
buy a rattle trap, but I couldn't handle, buying an older one that all the parts fall off. So,
Yeah.
I had several friends that had older ones, and we stopped many times on bike trips and picked
Yeah.
up pieces.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to buy one of those. I get it. You buy what you can afford.
But
So,
CVMA, what brought you here?
like I said, when I left the military, I mean, there was a lot of good friends there, and I kind of missed those friends. You're kind of looking for that camaraderie and those guys that you have some relationship with. I really wanted to hang out with these guys, and I love to ride motorcycles. So just putting down the miles. Since I've been here, it's been really good. Met a lot of good people around the country in CVMA.
Yeah.
And want to progress this even more and meet more people and network.
So camaraderie.
Yes.
Right. Obviously, riding motorcycles. We go have some fun. We do things here and there, and then became the XO. Right. Ran the first time. It was like winner chicken dinner.
Yes.
And I honestly don't think the chapter realizes what we got when you came on as XO. Like, you took over for Reaper when Reaper went back to Florida. If you're listening in, Reaper, give me a call, buddy. But I can't say this enough. Jay is super level-headed, and especially when you have Type A personalities in the group. Right? Yeah, go ahead, wax on, wax off. He keeps us level, right? And
I hope so.
He does. And there's a lot of times where we want to make a decision, and it's like, and Jay's the one that tells us, let's reel that in a little bit. Let's think about
before
that
we do it. Right.
And then a lot of times somebody will say something and put this out and put that out, and Jay will come in and say, well, why don't we just do this? And it's like the most common sense, easiest, we didn't even think about decision that we make, right? So, life member.
Now, yes.
Right? But obviously planning on sticking around for a while. It's in your heart.
Yeah, I love it.
You love it? You love it as much as us?
I hope so.
I know he does. I know he does.
He's really trying.
Well, appreciate you taking the time to be with us tonight, Jay. We're going to take cigars. You want to talk cigars real quick? You going to smoke one in the back here in a minute?
Yeah, we got time to talk cigars.
Oh, he had. I asked him if he wanted to drink before he even started. He's like, "No, I'm good." No. Let's take a quick 2-minute break and to get set up, and then we'll have our next guest on.
Great.
Sounds
Thank you.
like a plan, brother.
We froze.
We're live. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Mr. No Road Name Man in the house.
Now we're back live.
Drinking his girl beer.
Appreciate Jay being in here. We actually had another member show up. Music Man's here, along with the CO. Yeah, you guys, you got that mic back there. But no, appreciate. This is Sam. He's one of our newest members. I say what, like less than 6 months?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Less than 6
months. We wanted to bring somebody newer on. Obviously, kind of talk some things. Got a program going where we get an officer in, another member here. But so go ahead and kind of introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from, what you do.
Oh boy. So I'm Sam Noyes. Where I'm from. I grew up in Portland, Oregon. Beaverton area.
He's a liberal.
That's what's wrong with it.
That's what's
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. But
Yeah.
Portland.
I hear liberal being a good road name for you.
Trash Panda?
Trash Panda, right. No, that's actually got to be one of the best. That's got to be one of the best.
I mean,
road
that's
names.
what I'm used to.
I saw
so
this cat
Portland?
up there in Boise
Yeah, so
a couple years
Portland,
ago.
let's see. As soon as I got through high school, it was time to grow up. So I joined the Air Force.
Whoa.
So for everybody to know, I had just by joining, I increased the IQ level of this organization by 50%.
He's been
Or at
waiting
least
all
this
night to
chapter.
say that.
He said
night.
he said decrease though. I heard it.
Increased.
Decrease.
See, Army.
You know,
that's
just-
why. That's why.
Just
You guys-
because of that
yeah,
dang beard you
guys
got
can't
going
hear
on,
shit.
it's decreased.
All right, well, we won't get off the Air Force topic. Go ahead.
Let's see. So I joined the Air Force. I was an A-10 mechanic.
Oh, shit.
Got stationed in Alaska when September 11th popped off.
Yeah.
Within 3 months, we were in Kuwait, and we were clearing area for you clowns to come in.
Yeah, buddy.
In Afghanistan.
Clowns, he means like big dick players.
Yes.
Yes.
Freaking hard.
Yes.
Knuckle draggers.
Yes.
The ones that make it happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I'll
So,
give it to
hey, wait a
Sam.
second. Should we just call him Warthog?
Yeah.
I mean,
Warthog.
I could live with that.
Like dirty pig or something.
Klinger. Call him radar.
Oh,
yeah.
if you've never heard an A-10 go off, it shakes the ground.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, when they're doing their strafing runs, and you can't even hear them come in until they start shooting.
Mhm.
And oh man, they are wreckers. So A-10s, Air Force, we'll get past that.
A-10s Air Force. Let's see. After Alaska, I went down to Nellis Air Force Base in Las Vegas.
Oh,
I worked
shit.
test and eval down there. That was fun. That was real fun. Firing the gun from 30,000 feet. You know, just to see what it would do.
Yeah.
All that kind of crazy stuff. And then my enlistment was up.
6 years gone.
Yeah, 6 years and done.
You'd had enough of the Air Force.
Yeah, wasn't my jam.
You went from this to
Yeah, I went to fuck that. So
you got to stick it in your mouth like.
You don't have to kiss it. You just got to be a little bit closer than.
I mean, just
Hey,
You got to mind the stepchildren.
you got to be
just the
about a
tip
knife
o-
hand away.
Just the tip over here.
Okay, so you work now in the civilian world.
Yeah, so
DoD civilian.
yeah, I got out of the Air Force and started doing the same thing I did while I was in, but as a civilian up here at Hill Air
Making
Force
more
Base.
money, obviously.
Oh, shit ton more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what, GS-13 now or something like that?
Now I'm 12. Yeah.
12? Ooh,
Yeah.
shit.
I'm looking for a non-supervisory 13, but
Non-supervisory means
yeah, it has to go without a cell
not a
phone.
lot of overhead. Like, doesn't
Exactly.
have to work as hard.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't work hard anyway. I'm Air Force. Let's not bullshit too hard.
He admitted it, man. I don't work
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
I'm Air Force.
That's what you guys are for.
Cheerful.
Single, married, got a hot girlfriend. What?
I got a great girlfriend. Great girlfriend.
Stacy's her name?
Stacy's great.
Stacy's mom has got. Oh, sorry, I won't.
There you
Oh,
go.
please,
There you go.
please don't do that again.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry,
What,
Double
YouTube,
Dutch.
YouTube will
I
freeze
mean-
us.
Yeah, just because of your voice. Yeah,
exactly.
we had the real singer on last time.
That's true. That's true. We did have music, man. Okay, so shout out to Stacy.
go.
She comes. Yeah, where'd you get that cool hat?
I got this today from the CO.
Oh, I think that's the one I gave you, right? You re-gifting shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't fit me. It was
I
too
mean,
big. I'm not a big man.
I don't know
as
how
you see.
his head is this
Yeah.
big.
Who's that, Howard?
Yeah.
Right?
All right, so back to
They
CVMA.
blow their heads up in the Marines.
How-
Hey,
Just a
wait a
little bit.
second.
with
I'm going to
CVMA?
chime in here. That's some BS right there.
I joined officially. I got my patch in December of last year.
Nice. So you came on the ride, right? You were on the ride where we had
The Doomsday ride?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Doomsday
Yeah.
ride. I like that.
Yeah.
We're gonna redo that, huh, boss? Yes, sir. Yeah.
I mean, are we gonna redo it all the way?
No.
Where you go down again?
We're not doing the whole
'Cause-
oil and water and everything else, and then breaking bones and getting back on a bike, and it was like $30,000 in damage on 2 bikes there.
Oh yeah, that was bad. That was a bad day.
So you've been patched in December, came to the Christmas party.
Yeah. I
she's-
drag her out to as much as I possibly can.
Do you have to like physically drag her? Because she pretty much just shows up like
Oh, yeah.
with you everywhere you go.
That's
She completes you.
That's the quality of a relationship.
Is she like
right there.
the Jerry Maguire show me the money?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Show me the money.
What
No,
kind of bike
she's
do you
great.
ride?
I have a 2020 Ultra Limited.
Ooh, so it's almost like a street glide, but just a little bit better.
I mean, way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
It's not a CVO though, right?
No.
Okay,
No.
but it's close.
Who wants to drop that kind of money? It's close.
True.
I stole it though.
Most people that
stole
get
it.
good bikes do.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what COVID did for me. It shut down Harley plant.
And most people that didn't ride their bikes were like, might as well sell it, make some money. What
Oh,
color?
River Rock Gray.
River Rock Gray,
Yeah.
custom.
Yeah.
Right. That's the one thing I love about bikes, right? You can customize as much as you want, right? You can
Mhm.
buy a bike that's already customized, but my thing with me, like when I ride my bike, is like anywhere I go.
When do you ride your bike? In 2021?
I knew it was coming
I knew
up.
it was going to come
I
up.
knew and I'm the one that opened the door.
Yes,
I'm the
you
one that
did.
opened the door.
Throw that
No, we can get into it, right? We already talked about Doomsday, right? So, I actually just got a call from the painter.
Yes, he
Right?
did. He did.
I did. No. So I'm going to pick up my inner tomorrow, be able to put that together, and then going on vacation next week to the Caribbean, down to El Mexico.
There you go.
Do some diving, do some
Mhm.
toes in the sand. What's the motto? Tits. We're gonna do some
Operation
tits.
Tits.
Operation Tits.
Operation
And
Tits.
we're not talking Sturgis or
Okay.
Bourbon
I
Street.
mean, you are excited about some
Toes in the sand. Right?
tits. There you go.
No, so as soon as I get back from Mexico, I'll be able to pick up my front fairing, both saddlebags, my trunk, throw it all together, be ready to rock and ride. So I haven't been
That's cool.
riding since Doomsday.
Yeah.
Hey, can
Right.
we just
That's
talk
been a
about
long
the
time.
wiring harness on your bike for a second?
Well,
You
why
gonna
do you
get
wanna
training
go
wheels
there?
off
Yeah,
too?
Hey, so I've never. I thought China had more comms than we do than that bike has.
So my problem is I have a CVO, right? And when we got into it, somebody had went in there and done a lot of aftermarket wiring, and instead of just using the Harley wiring, they just kind of Jimmy rigged it or MacGyvered it and put extra stuff in there. So when Howard and I took my bike apart, it was like taking R2-D2 apart. There was wires everywhere, and we were trying to trace everything, trying to figure out what went to what. And I mean, we
That's
gutted
ridiculous.
that thing, probably 50 yards of wire. At least two other systems.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible for a
So, no, but enough about my bike. I'll be on the road soon. And Poppy, when you're ready, buddy.
He's ready for you to smoke him.
Pretty much. I mean,
Just saying.
Poppy rides a metric bike. What was that one that I
That
think it was
will
Preacher
smoke your
posted
bike.
it today, right? It was like the front end of a Datsun and the back end of a metric bike.
Yeah,
I
was
know you
wasn't
want to
it like a
bring
little
your
mini
wife
truck
and
or
kid
something?
with you on rides and stuff.
It's
But
like a station wagon with a half
Yeah.
back end of a motorcycle.
Poppy, just so you know,
It kind of looked like
right?
an ice cream
Grumpy's
truck.
got a bike for sale. It's a pretty pimped out Cholo Road King, you know. I don't know. I don't want to call him out. I think for the right price he would.
Howard
I
said
mean,
it looks
who
like a
wouldn't
damn
sell a bike
ice
for
cream
the
truck.
right price?
Grumpy, he says your bike looks like an ice cream truck. No, we're not talking about that though. So back on the topic, right? So we were on bikes. Now I want to get into how you found out about the CVMA and why you decided to put the patch on the back.
So let's see. I've known about the CVMA for years.
Years?
Yeah.
What took you so long?
Having 2 boys.
Mm.
You know, the boys were the priority. They always are, and the CVMA would have taken time away from them. Too much time.
Yep.
With what they had going on and the situation
Priorities.
we were in.
Yep.
So once I moved down to Pleasant Grove, life changed drastically for us. You know, now that I have a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old, which the 14-year-old should be watching. Shout out to Isaac.
What's up, Isaac?
It allowed me the opportunity to finally let them do their thing while Dad did his thing.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, I always want to show these guys that there's more than making money. There's more than your hobby. There's more than, you know, just your daily grind.
Yeah.
You know? And the cool part about CVMA and what I've always liked is it is vets helping vets.
Yes.
You know, and that's my biggest draw. Like, and here's the worst part about it, okay? I moved from Layton, where I know everybody, to Pleasant Grove, where I know nobody. I know no vets. I don't know anybody down there. I'm like, oh, okay, so I just joined an organization to help vets that I don't know any down there. So it's been interesting. I mean, I go about it in my own way. I've wrote a resume for one of the guys in our chapter.
Yeah.
And then just hanging out, you know.
Gotcha.
Hanging out, getting to know people, putting forth my best effort into our chapter to really get to know guys and kind of lay that groundwork for some lifelong relationships.
And I remember when Sam first showed up, I looked at Howard and I was like, phew, that's a big son of a... Like, anywhere we go, man, we make sure Sam is there, right?
Make him walk point.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's got the tats, got the look. I mean, he is wearing skinny jeans tonight, but you know.
Everything's skinny.
He said skinny jeans.
I'm just skinny. We had to get a beer out of the fridge. And I was like, you
guys
wearing
like
skinny
our size,
jeans?
we wear extra medium, okay, bro?
Right.
No, but Sam's a solid member. Obviously, came into the chapter, didn't really know a whole lot of people, but dove into it. Like, got onto GroupMe, started posting stuff like, hey, I'm riding. This is where I'm going. This is where I'm going to be. Linking up with members. I know you've been on quite a few rides, right?
Oh, yeah.
Outside of chapter events, right?
Yeah.
Sam's down to ride anytime, anywhere, any weather, right? Stacy's always with you.
So are you going down to regionals, right?
Yes, we're gonna do regionals. That's gonna be a big ride for us.
But you're all about those big rides, right?
I love them.
That's why you got the cruiser.
The long distance. Yeah. Having that bike has just been amazing. It's opened up so many opportunities to. So Stacy's a big foodie.
She doesn't look
great because
big foodie.
I like food. So
I thought you said Stacy's got a big booty. That's what I heard.
Well, I love that booty.
That's what I heard, right?
I love that booty. She plans the ride, I plan the ride. She plans where we stop, and it's great. Just a fun experience to hit restaurants, but enjoy. You know what Utah has to offer, because Utah's got some amazing scenery out there, and it's one thing to see it in your car. It's a whole nother to see it on a bike.
Yep.
So, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah. Just stay away from certain areas. I lived in New Mexico for 2.5 years working on my master's degree. And I'm not saying this, but they hate white people. Like, if you're not from there.
But didn't you just say this?
Yeah. Like, did we talk about that on the first podcast?
Yeah.
We won't even go there. All right, so back to rides. Let's go back to rides in Utah, non-chapter rides. What's some of your rides that you like to go on, or that you've been on?
We do. We'll ride up to Taggart's. Up above Morgan. You know, grab some lunch up there. If we want to really make a day out of it, we'll head up to Logan.
Okay.
We'll grab crepes at the creperie and then head up around Bear Lake. Yeah. And then come back through Monty.
Mm-hmm.
Come down. I think this weekend tomorrow we're gonna roll over to Back 40 just for dinner and then kind of see where it takes us. You know, gonna have some.
Is that kind of a thing that you do with Stacy, or you kind of just don't care? You want to bring other chapter members into it?
So I've always done it with Stace, and that's the beauty about our chapter. Our chapter has a lot of really good people in it. So I throw it out there, for whoever wants to go. And let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's all about. Let's ride together.
Yeah.
And that's the fun part of it is finding guys who you have to ride with somebody to know their ride style. You know what I mean?
True.
I've got Frado figured out. I love it. That dude and I side by side.
You talking about shake weight?
Oh, dude. we are not calling him shake weight, bro.
You gotta go shake weight in there, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. There you go.
You don't think? Hey, real quick here. I mean,
I don't think he's on.
Shout out to Frado. I mean, he had the knee cut open the other day.
Yeah, had his ACL fixed from his crash.
So he's doing some recovery today. I talked to him yesterday, and he said he's limping around, hobbling a little bit here and there. So
we're gonna go see him on
Saturday.
Saturday.
We're gonna go see him.
Jarrett wants to know where we're riding this weekend.
Saturday we're going to Frado's.
Going to Frado's for
shake weights.
All right, there you go, Jarrett.
We gotta go.
We're going to Shake Weight's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a good ride for you if you go the back way.
Yeah, Grumpy, you just come up the back way, man.
Yeah, and I mean, unless he's going to go buy a car this weekend. I
don't know. Yeah, is he car shopping still?
You car shopping, Grumpy?
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
No, you know what I think he's doing? I think he's still doing like riding lessons for.
Oh, riding lessons.
Yes, for somebody. I think he knows somebody that needs riding lessons still.
No, she passed.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they bought a car instead of a bike. What's wrong?
She traded in a Challenger or a Charger.
The Challenger.
Yeah, she kind of upgraded to like a midsize. They have
like
a
an
big
SUV
dog.
type vehicle.
They got to be able to fit the dog in the back. The one that shits on the yard and they have to pay $250 for.
Oh, so they got rid of that Mopar.
Yeah. Love you, Trauma. Love you, Grumpy.
Yeah.
No, let's get back to. So you've bonded with some people in the chapter, right? Like, when you join CVMA, right? From my personal experience, like when you first get in, it's like you don't know a whole lot of people, right? And everybody has a different experience as you're going about it. And the more rides that you go on, not just chapter rides, but the more times you link up here, hey, we're going to go do this, we're going to go do that. And you open yourself up to riding with people, you get to know their styles, right?
Yeah.
And you know how they react, and you know how they ride, you know what their bike is like.
I can tell you from the Doomsday last year, the second that I rolled out of that, I knew my foot was broke. You hear me? I mean, I knew my foot was broke, but you know what my first thought was? I wanted to know where Jay was because I knew he was right next to me. And honestly, that was like if I had done something.
You thought he went off the ravine.
Well, it took me for a little bit of a tumble, but I mean, my first concern when I came up was all the members. I mean, obviously, riding.
Oh, I know what your first concern was. Like
riding front left. Yeah, you're up there. Yeah. Oh no, that was my first. I mean, you asked Todd. I mean, I beat the hell out of that asphalt, but I didn't give too much against the foot and the ribs and everything else.
Oh, I know you rode your bike down.
Yeah, well, I just wanted everybody off that turn.
Yeah, because it was a sticky situation.
Oh, that was a horrible spot.
It was a bad spot.
Ugly to watch,
but you know what? Honestly, I mean, and when I looked over and I was reeling from that, and I look over, and two guys are picking up my bike, and everybody's trying to tell me to sit down, but at the same time, I'm just like,
we got to get off this road.
It
was a horse trailer.
Yeah, I hope
cars
nobody
backed
else
up.
is hurt, and and especially with Jay being right there next to me, because normally when you talk about you learn to where people ride next to you. I mean, I know when Music Man is riding next to me, me and him really do ride. Probably when it's just me and him, we ride a little bit hot. But when it's Jay, I look back and there's that.
Jay's a little more cautious.
No, it just. I don't know if it's the face. I
different
don't know if
ride
it's the
style.
face
It's
shield
just
or something
different,
like that. I can't.
I think Sam called it an astronaut helmet.
Yeah.
But it's
I
like
look
the
back
most
there and-
expensive helmet you can buy other than a Shoei.
I don't know.
It's just kind of a temperament. I just kind of look back there and I just kind of see Jay going.
usually he's going like
he just shaking his head like where are you going there, Jackrabbit? Great Jackrabbit start, but everybody else got to catch up.
Or he's telling you, hey, we got to turn left, we got to turn right.
Yeah. So good. And that was the first ride I had with the chapter.
Yeah, that was the very first ride. Like you weren't even patched in.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys stayed.
Wow.
Matt was
He's
there
like,
with
damn,
us.
man, how do these guys ride?
We
I'm
came
like, well,
through.
I'm here to direct traffic,
We came through
so it is
Payson,
what it is.
right, and then we missed the one turn, because I was in the
There was
very,
like
very
3
back.
turns
There was like 3
missed.
turns, but
Let's
he was
just- yeah.
taking the scenic route.
Good God.
Right, but no, Doomsday.
He
We're
said
gonna
scenic
go
route.
and do that ride again this year. Once my bike, and well, obviously Howard's bike's ready to rock. But we're gonna go challenge that and make sure that we get that ride done, just to kind of check it off the box.
Yeah, everybody's been asking me.
Yeah, it's a
am I
fun
gonna
ride.
go back up there and kind of
It doesn't help that the waterfall comes right across the road.
that, and then you hit a bunch of oil. That
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
really kind of sucked.
Yeah,
But we do need to check that box, right? You need to check that box because you were with us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right, you
with
and
you guys.
Matt.
Yeah.
Right, so when we
Stacy and
go
I
back,
turned around
everybody
and
that was
rode
on that ride needs to be on that ride again.
Yeah.
We check the box more for the CO, myself.
I do. I appreciate everybody wanting to go back up there, and it's a ride like any other. Just have to have
It's a summer ride though.
and it was a mishap.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
It's
I mean, it's not like American Fort Canyon.
what was the movie Perfect Storm?
Yeah.
We got water, and then it got mixed with
Oil and a curve.
and engine whatever that came out that was on the road.
Yeah.
So am I ever gonna do I ride scared? No. But am I cautious? Yeah. But again, going down the way I did, that my biggest concern was
Obviously,
I know my
Jay.
wife is sitting here and she's not going to like this, but I didn't really care what happened to me. I was just more worried about my guys behind me, and that was my biggest.
Well,
concern.
that's just the leader in you. That's all.
It's that
I think
flag
every
up
one
on
of
the
us would
wall.
feel that way anyway.
Oh yeah. Well, thank God it was on a curve. That was a tight turn. Everybody had to slow down at that moment.
Oh, could you imagine on a straightaway?
There's
well,
or
and the
anywhere
weekend-
higher up that route.
Yeah.
Like that route is
that
gets
was
tied up.
honestly
It's
like
gets
the
bad.
spot if you're
Yeah.
going to do it.
Might as well happen. If
Well,
it's
the
gonna
weekend
happen
before
there.
that, the guy that blew through the barrels and shot
Yeah.
one through over there on I-15, and
Yeah.
I barely missed the barrel. So when they say bad things happen in threes, I've had mine. And as far as the new paint job, yes, I've already scratched it.
Nothing
So,
wrong with that, though,
It's
as
al-
long as it was
it's-
you.
It's already got a scratch. I was sitting there doing something on it, and I scratched the damn paint. And
All right, nothing about Doomsday. We've hit that topic quite a bit. So I want to get back to, you obviously have got some brotherhood within the chapter that you
Oh,
ride
definitely,
with, that you're
definitely.
tight with. And that's the whole part about CVMA, right? When we join, honestly, a lot of times you don't really know what you're joining when you do join up. And I know that we've been preaching this to guests and people that are coming, and it's like, hey, come around for a little while. Come hang out with us,
Yeah.
right? The least of your worries should be the patch on your back.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
And get to
Exactly.
know everybody, riding style, this and that, and then you're already 1 foot in the door by the time you get your patch, right? And
Yeah.
kind of how we roll and how we do things, right?
Well, and it's important to hang out with people. You got to get out there, and
Oh,
your
yeah.
experience. What I've noticed is your experience within the CVMA is going to be based on your participation level. So if
Boom.
you're not willing to go out and meet these guys,
Yeah.
let's talk about another D-Day. I met Grumpy at Strap Tank.
Oh, it wasn't really a D-Day.
We got
but
lit.
You
It
got,
was
it
good.
was a little more than lit.
But it was fun. Like just being it, I didn't know Grumpy from
No.
anybody at that point. You
No.
know, he just saw in the chat that Stace and I were there and came
Right
down
across the
and
street
hung
from
out
his
with
house,
us.
right?
I mean, it was great. It was a it was a great night till we left the bar. How's that? But that's what it's all about. It's not just I love being able to ride with people, but I like being able to get to know people at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of what the whole jam is. I feel like we need to go bombard Sweet.
I do too.
We need to do a ride down south.
We do.
Go hang out with him.
We do.
'cause
And
Christmas
Sweet, if you're
party's
watching
not enough,
it,
Sweet.
Love you, man. Love Mo. But yeah, and we try to kind of switch things up every now and then where we're kind of riding north or we're riding south because we have a lot of members that are down south, right? Our old state rep lives down south, OC, right? Alan just had surgery. Grumpy lives down there. You do. Muff lives down there.
Yep.
There's quite a few other members that live down. I mean, Sapper used to live there. He's no longer with us, but we try to spread the wealth and kind of, especially once we start getting into the riding season. Once it gets a little warmer, because down south's a little bit colder, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It's good.
Yeah.
good.
So yeah, we do need to go on that, but obviously we got some upcoming rides coming during this riding season. We've hit this kind of every every podcast, right? And I know you've heard about the IMBK patch, the IMBK ride, right? It's
excited about
it's on your shoulder.
Yeah,
right?
I'm excited about
Sam's
this
rocking
ride.
one of the new shirts he got at Christmas.
Yeah,
right.
I think I'm more anxious to contribute to the chapter's work within that ride than actually ride the ride.
I know,
you know
I know
mean?
you are.
You know,
and most new members are, right? They come in eager, right? And we have a thing within the chapter that we kind of started a couple years ago. We just barely got our ride going, but we want to focus all of our new members, right? That first year on our ride, we want them to go out and enjoy the ride, right? Obviously, be there for setup, takedown,
You're going to
things
have
like
time to help contribute, because when it comes to what the chapter does in our AO, there is, trust me, when I need to pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I need you to go do this, the longer you're a member, the higher your level of responsibility becomes. And Jay and Music Man, and obviously Gash, he's here tonight, and I'm just going to take a quick minute to plug what Gash has done for us, loaning out his gear, coming over here, packing this stuff up, bringing it over to the house. I mean, this is kind of what happens the more you inundate yourself in the chapter, kind of that more we're going to ask you to step up, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
But the first year, go enjoy it while you can, because once you get up to
it's time to work.
Where Jay and I are at, all of a sudden it's just like
it's all work.
Yeah, it's all work, man.
Especially
I'll
on
see
your
you
own
guys when you
ride,
get
man.
back.
Like last year, I won't even get into that. But yeah, first year members, we want them to go and enjoy the ride. Obviously, put your work in at the beginning and at the end, but go and enjoy the ride.
Yeah,
IMBK's coming up September 11th. We've also got State coming up September 10th. Black Sheep, put a plug in for them. Planning's going really well for that. You already hit on regions, right? And we've got nationals that are coming up, going to Sheridan, Wyoming for nationals.
Getting that iron butt knocked out.
But no, huge shout out to Sam. I can honestly say I've been with the chapter. I started down in Cedar City, obviously with the debt. Came back from New Mexico. I've been here for quite a while. This is my second term as a sergeant of arms, and we get members that come in and kind of. It takes them a while to find themselves, really. I mean, honestly, and some of them are quiet, some of them are really headstrong. But I can honestly say Sam came in, hit it off the start from everybody in the chapter. Really cool. Love it when he brings Stacy.
Yeah.
And everything's been really, really good with you so far in the chapter. Doesn't have a road name yet. We're going to fix that, right?
Rod said to name him Bert.
But you got to earn your road name, right? It's not something that we take.
That's hard
lightly.
for an Air Force guy.
It is
around a bunch of Army.
Hey, wait a second. Trust me, you're going to call you stupid, man. You're going to do something either really cool. You're either going to do something really cool or kind of stupid. And that's going to happen like overnight.
I mean, kind of like shake weight,
No.
Just because you ride with Prado.
I'm going to veto
shake weight. And it's going to be,
it only takes a quorum and then we got it made.
His road name thing's going to be that big. It's just going to be a shake weight.
No, but Sam's a solid dude. We have a lot of solid members within the chapter, right? And we're going to have more on the podcast. Tonight, we really wanted to introduce Jay to the podcast and get his thoughts on it, and then bring in a new member to kind of get your thoughts on CVMA and kind of show how well-rounded we are. We're pretty heavy on the Army side. Obviously, we got a bunch of crayon eaters, and we have quite a few Air Force that are in our ranks. No Coast Guards, right?
I don't think we do have a Coast Guard.
Not in our chapter.
No,
we don't have.
Not in our chapter.
Not in our chapter. There's a couple in 492.
492
Not in
does.
491. We don't have any coasters.
Yeah. I don't want to pass up the opportunity though. Like for anybody who is on the shelf or
like elf on a shelf
or whatever, like jump. Just jump.
2 feet in.
2 feet in, just jump.
You got a bike and you ride.
What you're going to get out of it is going to be phenomenal compared to.
It's going to change your life.
Just kind of testing the waters. You got your patch, but you're still testing the waters.
But
just
the patch should be the least of your worries.
Jump. Like these guys are phenomenal. You guys brought me in, no questions asked, nothing.
Even though you're Air Force.
Yeah.
In skinny jeans.
You do ride a Harley. If he would have going for him.
If it would have been Air Force on a metric, I don't know. We probably would have kept him on the fringes a little
That'd
bit.
be bad. That would be
We
bad.
would have made him wait a little while longer.
Hey, so I got a question for Sam.
Yeah.
You know, obviously our brother to brother is a patch that you have to earn. It's not something you can buy. It's one of those things that we ask all the members to, step up and think about how and what you're going to do to earn yours. What thought have you given to what your plan of attack is for earning yours?
So I have given this quite a lot of thought. And the hard part, my biggest obstacle is just moving down and not knowing any vets in my area.
Gotcha.
So, granted, that's an obstacle. It's not a showstopper.
Yeah.
So I have reached out to some organizations that I know within RAO and just put out feelers, because I know people, and I know people who know vets. So that's kind of where I'm at within the process.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, Fredo and I were talking. How funny would that be to get our brother to brother before we had road names? Right?
Hey, it's doable.
Right?
It's doable.
Exactly. So it was kind of.
But it's something that's on your radar, right?
Yes, it's there.
It's not like a merit badge or anything like that.
Yeah. It's we'll get there. It's just a matter of like if we were north, I could knock this out pretty quick. But that's also not the process. Like,
No.
I don't want to knock this out just to get a patch. I would rather, if I can get a
you'd rather help
patch
another
to sew
vet.
on, cool. That's
yeah.
cool.
You're not doing a project just to get a patch.
Exactly.
So
This is more about the individual.
So last year when we handed those out for the first time and we were giving them to the specific members that earned them, what were your thoughts around that? I mean, when
he was
heard
there,
those,
that was his first time.
That was his first. So when you saw that, that's why I'm kind of taking Doomsday, the organization, the chapter. I mean, everything. And when you saw and you heard what you heard, when it comes to that brother to brother patch, what was your thought that day? Around that, because we haven't asked that question to anybody else because you've got fresh eyes on this, and we were kind of like, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, hey, from an outside perspective, when you are looking at how that went down, that morning we were all just, I mean, it was the first time between Alan, Six, and Double Dutch and
Muff,
and everybody that earned their patch. I mean, and when I really say the vetting process for earning that patch,
it's deep.
That was a big deal, though.
You can't come to me and say, you can't come to the board and go, we're going to put up a bouncy house, at the vet center.
No.
What is that going to do?
A bunch of 80-year-olds bouncing around.
Yeah, a bunch of 80-year-olds going to bounce around in a bouncy house. Okay. Are you trying to off? Are you trying to off the old guys or what? I mean, I know I'm going to be there soon.
No, but that was his first meeting.
Yeah, that was
it was a big deal for the chapter, right?
Well, and that was a big deal for me. So when I caught you guys at the park, there in Pleasant Grove, because you guys were meeting, and it was shortly after that event. That was one of my biggest questions, actually, to Jay. It wasn't a matter of, hey, I come ride with you guys. It was, what are you guys doing for vets?
Yeah.
Because that's
the patch was the least of your worries, right?
I don't need people to ride with. Like, that's not a big deal. It was a matter of, if I'm going to engross myself into something, what are we doing for other people? And that was a big one. So then to talk to Jay about it and have him, just talking to him on the phone when I just barely made that first contact there, he solidified it from day one that it's more than riding together.
That's just
we're there to help vets.
Yep.
And then at that first event to watch Muff, who ended up being my wingman, get his brother to brother patch. That was pretty impressive because that solidified it. It wasn't just lip service from Jay. That was the solidification of, okay, this is a group of dudes who are there practicing what they preach every day. Yeah. So that's pretty amazing to see.
I like to hear that. Just the plug that I know that the CEO was trying to get at was, right, what's your plan, right? Yeah. Everybody's a member, right? And maybe you just like to ride and hang out. Cool. But if you're really going to take that motto, right, I'm going to start with vets helping vets, but if you're going to go even further, and I am my brother's keeper, right? That's something we started as a chapter, That's what feeds our Brother to Brother program. That's what we do to earn funds so that we can go out and do these projects.
Yeah.
Right? And if your heart's in it and you're all about helping vets, right, I encourage all of your members, come up with something. Get your Brother to Brother patch. And even if you don't want a patch, do a project to help out the brothers. So, Sam, I appreciate you being here tonight.
Yeah, thanks,
and taking the time. I want to thank again Jaybird for being on here. He did an awesome job. Huge shout out to Brett for bringing all of his equipment here and making sure that we were set up for this podcast. Huge shout out to the CO for loaning us his garage. Obviously, it's one of the baddest garages in the chapter. And we also have Music Man, one of our officers, brand new secretary, stepped in, took over from Mighty Mouse, doing a hell of a job, right? He's a badass. I'd ride with him anywhere. That's not to say I wouldn't ride with Mighty Mouse, but Music Man really has stepped in and kind of taken it to a whole new level within the chapter and within the secretary. And I want to give a shout out to Mighty Mouse, saying thank you for being the secretary for 4 years. Right, that's huge step. Being a part of the CEB, kind of still a chapter member. Really start a part of the chapter. We don't want you to go away. We don't want you to kind of drift off into the sunset. We want you to be there for the chapter and kind of keep doing what you're doing. That's why, as officers, we continually roll through. I'm not always going to be the sergeant of arms. Jay's not always going to be the XO. Obviously, Howard, he's not always going to be the CO. But it takes members to run this organization. We don't do it as officers. We just facilitate. Again, one last plug on IMBK and Brother to Brother. We really hit Brother to Brother tonight. And even if you don't want to earn this patch, you should be out there in our AO searching for veterans that need help, right? Because that's what we're about.
If you can wear it on your back,
you can wear it on your back, and if it's not in your heart. But that's it for tonight. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and we'll see you on the next podcast.